Ah, okay. All right, this should be good. Now let's resume stuff. Now that the server and client stuff is working, first of all, I need to make sure that the object for the server is not created. That kind of gets in the way of things. And I'm gonna go ahead and put on some music for myself. Just for myself. There we go. Oof. I got about 3 hours left, I think. Yeah. Okay, so. So I need to say if ID does not equals 2, get server ID. So as long as this is not the server that we're looking at, if we are a server. Okay. So, okay. I still need to... Okay, so I still need to create the object. I just need to make sure that maybe it can be a size of 0. Either that or just create a pushback. I need to fill up that space. Okay, here we go. So now that this works, now the not quite so fun part. The part where I have to send all that data back to the client. Now, the question is, should I be doing live drop-ins? Or should I be doing a lobby system? Now let's be straight. The lobby system is not like public servers. This isn't just waiting for your other clients or your friends to connect to your game. Or do a live drop-in system. Jenko, welcome. It's going to be a public server? No, it's going to be a peer-to-peer connection, which I got to work, by the way. It's working now. Check this out. Check this out. This is exciting. To me, at least. So if I launch... I need to launch the second instance of this game. Of Visual Studio. Which I should have it already open. Okay, here we go. Man, if you get into like public servers, there's a whole list of things you have to start taking into account. Like data encryption, protection from hackers. Yeah. Costly, very costly. Anyways, so this can be the server, this can be the client. P. Hey, there we go. Whee! This is fun. The only thing is the position is a little bit jagged. Almost like it's converting floats to integers. So I'm gonna have to look into that. But it's working for the most part. And the only thing is that we can only see the client inside of the... Like, the server can see the client, but the client can't see the server object. So that's what I'm going to be doing now. Anyways. Now, I can probably do, like, live drop-in. In which case, all I have to do is just send the array with the player data. And then the client can check whether or not the array that it has inside matches in size of the array that it received. If not, then it's going to adjust it accordingly. And I finally made the Game Jolt page for this project, so now I can actually have a place to forward people to for any and all news. Okay, now see, with game makers sometimes, okay, this wouldn't actually be correct, but I had to make a system that made a unique packet for each individual player. And that individual packet would exclude information from the same player who's sending data. But I think if the IDs actually match up on the server and client, I can just get the client to process all of the entries for the array and exclude the one that belongs to itself, so that it doesn't duplicate a thing. What I'm actually wondering is that if this is... Can I skip the creation of an object and just say -1? Or just push back and not put any data in there? Can I do... I don't think this can be an ID, object with an ID -1. So I think it should be okay. Unless it gives me an error. Oh yeah, this is this is the entry. If it's not the server, this one is supposed to be -1. So Jenka, what have you been up to? Oh. Okay. Well, it's not complaining. So I think that's fine. Okay, so we can go ahead and borrow some information, can't we? So same deal. Clients count. Do we have this variable anywhere in the server? No, we do not, I think. Clients count. Well, we do, apparently. Oh, well, it... ah, jeez. Ah, it's fine. Does this return AJK print clients count? And then does this line actually return the same value as this thing? Do you want to what? Oh, okay. So I need to I need to do whoopsie, come on. I need to do this outside of the while loop. This is kind of weird. First thing that it prints is this thing. Okay, so if ID is not equal to 0, then we're gonna increment this value. But technically, so now it says 2. Now, I mean, okay, if this thing starts as a 0, and in the end, Oh, yeah. What the fuck? Ah, yeah, that's right. Okay, so after the... So it needs to start as 0. Then we'll keep adding +1 for everything that exists. See, this is the problem with the do loops. But anyways, I technically don't need this. Server-side clients count. Okay, so if this happens to be working, if anything happens to be depending, what the hell? Okay, here we go. Now this doesn't make sense. If it's gonna do it, if it's going to add +1. And it starts with a 0. Man, okay. Yeah, I really don't need this. This is just for counting. Let me turn it to what it was before. Well, this was correct though. If ID does not equals to 0, that this was supposed to happen. Oh, and this is really just for this check. Okay. Okay, so as the server, end of, this is a server application. Send if this thing is above 1, so there's at least 2 clients, then we're gonna borrow some stuff from here. So we're gonna create an outgoing message, and this is gonna be done for xx equals 1, xx below. Okay, so I'm gonna need to, let's see, clients count. Am I using this anywhere in the server? No, this is a custom variable. Okay. So we're going to get the client's count. Below or equals client's count, xx plus plus. Integer. Okay, this makes sense to me at least. If there's a client and a host, and they will return 2. If this is above 1, which it should be, so there's 2, it's going to do this 2 times. Create, yes, but don't send it to yourself though. Don't send the message to yourself. Don't need it. So you should probably do it according to the size of the player array instead of this stuff. And if the array that we're currently checking does not equals 2, AGK get network server ID. Sakes. I gotta get used to it. Here we go. So if it is not equal to the server ID, so effectively, if this is not self, then yes, then create the message. Obviously, the first thing that we're going to add to the message Okay, technically the first thing we need to do is we need to build the message. So I realistically don't need this. Let's see, so build the message first. Right, so create the message, go through the array, and write down data. So here we're going through the array. See, we do need to include the server in this case. Right. So you mentioned that this is a server, after which make sure to mention this is a message 1.2 server sending back client data, all clients. Right. So we know that we're about to send a certain amount of data. I feel like I should add the size of so we know how many slots inside of each array there'll be. 3 slots, X, Y, Z, hypothetically. We also need to include the ID of the client that this data is belonging to. So that works. So 4 technically. Integer and XYZ for now. We don't know how many of these entries are there. There could be 5 players, there could be 12 players, unless we actually tell it how many slots there are. 1 slot per 1 player. This might become tricky if we don't do that. Mention the size of the array, so we'll know what this is. Okay. So now that we've done this, I can iterate through this entire thing. SX through this array and write down all the data. Client ID. Include client ID and X, Y, Z. Float. Clients X, Y, Z. Include client X, Y, Z. Now, that's it. This is now going to finish the message. I don't think there's actually a function of finishing the message though. There's one for deleting the message. We need to make sure we can remember that. Oh yeah, I should probably toss this, the close network at the end, where the app end is located. Death by T, the best kind of death. Okay. Let's just go back down here. Okay. So now we need to send this information to every single client but the server. So we're going to send this data. We're going to send this data to as many times as there are players currently in the game, which is how many array entries we have. I still need to delete these array entries when the player disconnects. Have not forgotten about that. But as long as the current entry we're looking at is not the array, the server, we send to client destination equals, this will be an integer. We need to get the ID at XX. Get client destination. Tits. Totally forgot to post about this live stream on the forums. Okay, well, might as well just copy the message and paste it. Anyways, so we will get the client destination, which is a temporary variable. We will get the ID. We don't need to create the network message. But we do, however, need to send the network message. To client, okay. Message to this client, this message. After we are done with the loop, we're going to delete the message. Okay, so create network message. Well, there's nothing to check now. Except you know, I'm pretty sure I could have probably accessed the local variables without having the client create the network message, but that logic would apply to GameMaker made games. So I might as well practice it. Okay. Interesting. Right. Again, am I using this anywhere? That's not a client? No, I'm not. So I don't know why I even bother. If I keep just getting the function. Send the message to all connected clients. Now with a client, I need to accept that data. Also, I realized the resolution of the monitor is not scrambled because that message is not cropped off. Woohoo. Interesting. All right. Okay. So as a client, let's go ahead and what is this end of? End of. Technically, I don't need that, do I? Okay, I'll delete it afterwards. I know that it's there. I can delete it afterwards. Now I know I can put that in the same condition, but you know what? I want to have it separate. So Retrieve the data from clients. Okay. Retrieve data. Retrieve message from server. If this message contains something. Right, the first thing. Get ID of sender. Now I'm pretty sure client, no. The first thing that we have is the client that sent it. Then integer message type. Message type. If income messages equals to 1.2 float. Slow process. We'll get there. No need to rush. Right, so now if this is a message 1.2, then I will need to send send another integer. Int array size. Get array size. So after this, we already have that array created. It's just we only populated it if we were a server. If for a client, however, then x equals 0 equals 1, x below equals temp array size xx plus plus. Now then, types of data we're going to be receiving is here. See, now this has to have two codes. The first code is the update code. So if the client's array is smaller than server sent one, so if entity dot size is smaller than the array that we've specified in there, then instead of setting values, we need to push back. Push back. With which value? You say, well, this will have to be temp CLID integer float temp CLX float temp CLY float temp CL Z equals. First, we're going to retrieve these variables from these messages. So float, and integer. Same order. Get data, add data. Now so ID and if the ID that we just got is not equals to AGK get my ID, so as long as the ID does not equal to this, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to create an object. Create the player object. Yes, the ID is the same as client, in which case Same thing, else don't do shit. Player clients don't push back, -1. Right. Now, this is and of if server sent array is larger than the client's one. Now, if the server sent array is of same size. So in this case, this would have been true if we have already received and expanded the initial array. So after this. So this means I have to loop through all the array entries again. So I think I need to trust that if there were more entries, this would have fixed it by now. So so this time I can actually get the data first. Then find the location. Should I do another do while loop? I mean, if we don't, okay, do. If I do a do while, nah. Let's do a for loop. For int yy equals 0. Yy equals yy is below and yy plus plus. Now yy will be below player client's ID size. So we're gonna go through each and every entry of the loop. Now here's a question. Yeah, size starts with a 0. Okay, because entries start with 0. Okay, so if so if this ID is equals to the ID that we have just gotten. Then just place the data in here. We don't need to place the ID anymore. Temp client X, temp client Y, and temp client Z. This ought to do it. Oh yeah. Shit, I fucked that up. Here we go. Also, I should probably watch the variable names. Yeah, okay. So this has to be temp client Y. That would have been stupid. Okay, so this is end of loop through every array slot. In fact, that after I do this, I can just break out of the loop. That makes sense. Okay, so this is end of if server array is of same size as clients. What is this? Loop through the message. And of loop through the network. Let's do this many times. What is this? And of if this message is 1.2, server is sending array back to clients, and this is if incoming message is not blank, if more than one client is on the network. Okay, that makes sense. Now I need to once again loop through the stuff applying the data. Which is this thing. No, not this thing. Apply your own data to the array. Don't need to do that. Apply data to all player objects. This is what I need. Now, pretty sure I can put it here. Right. And let me get my divider. To the objects. And I also want to put one here. Just to make it clear. Okay. So let's see how many errors I'm about to deal with. First, let's compile. 0 failed, 0 up to date, 0 skipped. Well, that's deceptively convenient. So let's go ahead and save. Compile. I mean build. Okay. So I will leave you here. Oh, you be the server. And you stand over there. Okay, now let's compile the second game. Oh. Ah, jeez. Okay, my dad knows how to knock, my mom does not. I can't complain too much, it's their house, but I need to hang a sign. Oh, okay, no. Here we go. Client. Error has just occurred. I need to see what the error is. Ah, jeez. I can't see what the error is. Please, let me see. It's probably, the whatchamacallit. This is the client. Oh, crap. Okay, so didn't get to see the error because I accidentally pressed cancel. Okay, so you be the server. You be the client. Okay. Expression vector subscript out of range. So I kind of expected that to be what that was supposed to be. Now I know that this is the error in the client side. It has to be. One sec. Okay. Oh, man. So, what is it? Wait a minute. Which application just crashed? I think it's the server application that just crashed. What the fuck? Oh, hold on. Go through the array and write down the data. It's not supposed to be equal to the amount. Wait a minute. What? What the fuck? Oh, man. That's right. Has to be this. 1322, so... No, not clients count. What the fuck am I looking for? Yep. Okay. Yeah, so that was kind of stupid. That was me totally trying to access what was not there. Oh well. Same mistake, done twice. See, I say live and learn, but I don't learn. For some reason the array is not getting created. Okay, well, the only time the get network message would return the only time it would return 0 is if there is no message. So the problem is client side, and of course it is. Why the fuck wouldn't it be? Maybe this is still client side actually. The server side. Jenko. Back from 10 hours of coding, something for uni. Interesting. I see you're a person who likes to drop in, and unless they see game makers stuff, they leave immediately. Or have university related stuff. Either way. You'll be happy to know that since you left, literally nothing has happened. As in, nobody has showed up on the live stream. Not even Southpaw. So, you know. The crushing loneliness is ever strong. Okay. P. It says that it's sending the data. It's adding 2 pieces. It's sending the data. Why is this motherfucker not receiving anything? I don't know. It might be that pesky admin that times out everybody. Yes, everybody. If you consider Southpaw to be everybody. And need I remind you that after I gave you moderator rights, you have timed out somebody who has not done a thing in the chat. Just because you thought you could undo your evil doings, okay? That is going to be on record. Don't go around blaming me. At least I don't accidentally put somebody in timeout. When I do it, I mean it. That would be the equivalent of you picking up yes, you timed him out by accident. Yes, absolutely. That would be the equivalent of you picking up some plastic gun and like pointing it at someone's face and go like, look, it's a toy. That doesn't hurt. Walk it off. Give it like 5 minutes. Anyways. So the problem is not... I'll be right back. Jeez. Okay. So I know that data is being added. I know that data is being sent. Probably. Is it being sent to the right destination? Let's try to send it to... Well, no, it's supposed to be sent to the right destination. Maybe it's the... Okay, so in this case, Send messages to all. Right. Client destination. So it's got to be before. What other data? There is no other data, is there, except for the object, which I don't need to send. Players underscore clients underscore ID. So where am I accepting that data actually? Printing. Here we go. Wait, what is apply your own data to the array? What the fuck is this? And where is it? Is this if it's this is no, that's not it. Want to solve a math problem? No. Just a big firm no. I got my own problems here. Especially if you have a math problem. That's a double no. Apply your own data to the array. So we will loop through the array and only add the XYZ. Actually, how about I'll break out of that one? It's going to be fun. I don't swear. Well, that doesn't put a lot of confidence. So I will have to stand by my answer. I mean, I know this works because I actually print these values. There's a thing that I can get, however. Guides. No. There's a variable that contains the a thing. Get network name, not host network. Get client name. Okay, so returns the name of the client used to identify itself when it connects to the host. All client names must be unique, and this is enforced by the host. Okay, so this should return the string HK print this client of client destination. Son of a bitch. Oh, AJK. Okay, so this should now print the nickname of the client that we're about to send stuff to. CL1 is the name of the client. Maybe I'm using the wrong function for sending the message. Maybe there's more than one. One for client, one for server. Sends a created network message to a given client on a given network. Use client ID of 0 to send to all connected clients. Oh, you fucking shitting me. I could have used this old one. This is why you read documentation. Fuck me, so I don't need this loop. I really don't need this loop. What the fuck? All I need to do is this. I'll comment this horse shit. Fuck me. Really? So if I set this to 0, is it actually going to send it? There were build errors. My ass. What build errors? Oh yeah, that's right. Wait, what? Hold on a minute. Ah, is this why it wasn't working? Oh no, I'm deleting the message after I send it to the first user. Because that message was inside of a loop, Janko. Inside of a loop. Do you know what happens? You know, people say, live and learn. Live and learn from your mistakes. I never learn. And you should know that. Motherfucker. Okay. We got it. We got it. We got it. It has to work now. It has to work now. Okay. Oh man. Okay. P. Client-side array. It sees the array, but it can't. It doesn't connect for some reason. So now it's just a different issue, at least. Oh, it's because motherfucker, I just created two clients. Well, it says it's connected. There's the box. It's still not receiving the message though. But client-side array. When does it actually write client-side array if it's a client? Right, when it reaches the bottom. So it's still not receiving the message. Okay, so how about Oh yeah, it's because I it's because I forgot to it's because I screwing up too much. Screwing up way too much. Client has frozen. The client has frozen, but I know that it's now receiving the data. All we gotta do is figure out why it's freezing. Retrieve message from server. Comment that out, make it an integer. Well, Mr. Idzeprog. Welcome. How's it going? How did I get into coding? When I did not want to learn anything in high school. When I thought the geography class was full of shit. When I thought that the whatchamacallit, the accounting class was full of shit, but I took it because I was full of shit and I didn't know anything any better. Because I was fucking bored with homework that I didn't do anyways. And I decided to look into stuff. And I wanted to make games. So I started looking into what's available and started learning what was accessible. Then I got Game Maker Studio as my birthday present, specific request, and that kind of just kept the ball rolling, so to speak. I'm doing good myself, yes. I'm slowly trying to figure out this networking stuff that works on the server side, but it keeps crashing on my client side. Okay, so P, you be the server, and what's his face? You be the client. Yes, P. And that is where the client gets stuck a little bit. This is the client, this box. The client is still stuck. So now I need to weed out the problem. You want to get into coding, but you don't know how. What do you have available? What game development pieces of software do you have available at your disposal right now? You know, free stuff, downloaded stuff. If you want to get into coding, but you have absolutely no idea how to, the best thing is, first of all, start a project. A small one, but a project nonetheless. What I found out is early on when I was trying to get into game development, if I went to YouTube and typed in Game Maker Studio top-down shooter, there would always be like 5 different series on how to make a top-down shooter. You just watch the video and you see what the guy's doing, and you discover how different functions operate. Like if you add +10 to the X position of the object, that moves the object. So what happens if I add the +10 to the X if I press the button, like a key, like W? Now how do I do that? Okay, Google Game Maker Studio key input. Pops up with the result for key input. You know, and so on and so forth, and you just kind of learn. Did my live stream just crap out right as I was explaining that? That kind of sucks. It was lagging a little. Okay, well, yeah. Once again, right as you start, yeah. Well, okay, you say you got it. So get into, just start a project and look for tutorials of your related to the subject you want to look into. With game development, there's a huge abundance of tutorials. Now, in my case, I want to make a few games in Unreal Engine, but I don't want to be using blueprints because blueprints are retarded for large projects. It's terrible. Thanks for follow. You'll see a notification on the screen. But Unreal Engine is C++, so if you want to be coding with Unreal Engine. So I'm using this engine, which I owned before Unreal Engine, which is App Game Kit, the AGK. I'm using it to learn the C++ coding because it can be used in Visual Studio. Basically, anything with the prefix AGK is me using the function of that engine. So. Essentially, you should have more followers, I swear. Yeah, some people say that, but it's a bit difficult. The only way I can get more followers is, if people like you share my stuff to their friends, other friends who are also into game development. Otherwise, it doesn't really, work. I'm kind of at the mercy of the discoverability script of whatever platform I'm live streaming on, and I'm live streaming it to YouTube and Twitter, YouTube and Twitch right now. So, the start always takes a little while. You want to do something you want, but at the same time, you want to learn the easy stuff first. To be honest, you can start with your own project. It's just that when you start with your own project, you start asking the right questions. Like, okay, for my project, I need to have character movement. How do I get character movement? You Google Game Maker Studio character movement or whatever engine you're using. I guarantee there's going to be a tutorial, unless you're using some, fucked up convoluted engine that nobody knows about, that has like 2 failed games to its name. Yeah. That's how I learned, and I mean, right now I'm coding a game in C++, something I never thought I'd be able to do. So this is interesting. Okay, so I know that something in here is making my client crash. So what I can do is I can slowly start commenting out the stuff within this block, because I know something in that block is making my thing crash. Okay, so you be the server, and you be the client. Right, P. Something's wrong, because they're both clients, motherfucker. Yeah, sure thing. I'm not going anywhere. Well, not in the next half hour at least. Oh, you be the server. And P, you be the client. Uh-huh. There's the thing. There's the message type. What the fuck does it say after connections and connected? No, connections connected. So what goes next? Incoming message. I guess this, okay, I see. I don't need client type ID. I need to print this thing, which is a float value. Right. Come on. Oh, jeez. There it is. Message type 1.2. So I know that the message type is correct. Now I can start slowly uncommenting this stuff. Been up for 2 days. Well, I hope you've been up for 2 days researching game development and not playing games all night. This, I believe, is the loop. Yes, okay. So one of these assholes, one of them, is screwing up my thing. Here, I can message array size, and I would like you to print this thing. Oh man, oops, build errors, not good. Yeah, this game, little project I started in 2015, and I decided to return to it because it posed an interesting method of learning C++. Okay. What the fuck you mean app and? Okay, hold on, I gotta cancel. Undo that. Yes. And I need to copy this, and I need to make sure received array size. Okay. Yeah, since this engine can be either programmed in BASIC or C++, I figured, well, there's my opportunity to learn C++. So I ported this from BASIC to C++, which wasn't really all too difficult. And now I am developing the multiplayer part of it. And this is going to be a co-op platformer, so you're supposed to basically get up top. At least for now, until I add like PvP stuff to it. Okay, so P client received array size of 2. Yeah, probably. You can see that in the background there's the client jumping around. The only thing is, after I figure this stuff out, I'm gonna have to figure the, well, repeat the system and essentially have the host send the level layout to the client, because right now it is different. The two games are generating their own level layouts. You should try to make a game like CS:GO. Yeah, absolutely, because you know there isn't a fuck ton of those games out already. Do you like? There was a game that came out made by one of the X Project employees from Epic Games. The game called Lawbreakers. That game failed on a massive level because the market is already oversaturated with multiplayer game, not multiplayer, but competitive, competitive multiplayer games, tournament games, CS:GO, Overwatch, Team Fortress, PlayerUnknown's Battleground, and a fuckload of others. Like, there's actually a video taking a look at the failure of the project, right? League of Legends, Guild Wars, World of Warcraft. It's on Fortnite. There you go, oversaturated market, right? There's absolutely no fucking reason to be making a massive played multiplayer for profit. Like, if you want to make one for the hell of making one, sure. If you want to make one for the hell of profit, right? This is kind of a big thing. You can either make a game that's story based, that is a game that you want to just create, then it's fine. If you want to make a game that is profitable, then you have to do market research. And that's, things get pretty shitty pretty quick. End of if this message. Okay, so this is what I need. Loop through the message this many times. And I also need this thing. End of if server array. So this thing. I am almost sure that the error is either in this one or in the second one. So let's take a look at this. So this game is going to be a story-based, almost like permadeath platformer. I don't want to like say roguelike because it's not roguelike. But it's supposed to be difficult, and it's supposed to be story-based or story-driven. And it's a great excuse for me to learn the widths of this engine. Something wrong? Of course something wrong, because I haven't created the server yet. And of course it wouldn't connect to the server that has been created. Hey, you know. All kinds of progress. Where? Here we go. P. No way. Oh, it's getting the data. I think. Yes, it is. Okay. So, no way. Oh, is it gonna move? I don't think it's gonna move. I mean, I know that this one's gonna move, because this is the client. But this is the server. Yes. Okay. So obviously it wouldn't move because I haven't re-enabled the script that updates the values. But this means that the script that updates the values is the one that's is screwing this thing up. Do you have a 24/7 home host? No, I do not. I will rent one, the virtual machine, for hosting the online part of a game, not this game, because this is going to be a peer-to-peer game. There's not going to be any matchmaking going on. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe for an experiment purpose, I would make some kind of a public server. Just test it out. But the thing is, when you get public server, you have to start worrying about things like hackers hacking into your server, hackers hijacking the data streams if the game gets popular, you know. So if you're dealing with peer-to-peer connections, you don't have to deal with it on your own game server, right? Because it's one friend playing with another friend. If the other friend's cheating, I'm sure the first friend's gonna let him fucking know that. With public games, these are strangers, right? So if somebody's cheating, you can't really get on the bus, go to his house, and slap his face to do it, you know? So there is another game that I want to kind of make and release on a small scale, just for a small community, because, well, this is what it is. It's you know, you really need to have somebody on site who's trained in network management, right? Anyways, so I should really say else if. So if this is this, then that. Else if. Of course it would do else if, because fuck it, whatever. Right, so if it's equal to the size, then we are going to go ahead and get the data first. Really? We already get the data first. Let's just take a look at this. I'm pretty sure this will still brick the entire system. Although, why am I, yeah, okay. Oh, I think I have a sneaking suspicion of why it's bricking the server, or why it's bricking the client. Yep, that's what it is. I have a Discord server though for game dev related stuff. I don't really have a lot of people on my Steam account other than just the friends. You know, launch that and send it to you if you're interested. Okay, here we go. Let's see if that pops up on the Twitch chat. Okay, so client. Aha, and there we go, and it is stuck. So, what is the sneaking suspicion that I talked about earlier? Loop through the array and find the right. Yes. Nice. Okay. So if it's an existing thing, get the integer float. Right. Integer float. And go through the array to find the right slot to put the data in. mean, okay. So technically this has to be done as many times as there are as there are slots, right? Temp array size. So as many amounts of data pieces that we've received. So for int data mnt equals 0, data mnt is below. I mean, okay, technically I can set it to this, and if it's above 0, man, let's not make this more confusing. So if it's below the data that we received, it's data mnt plus plus. Here we go. For every single piece of data that we receive, so if we receive 2 pieces of data, then we have to do this 2 times. For integer. Oh yeah, that's why. Fuck me. We set the yy variable, we check if the yy variable is below, but we increment the xx variable. Makes perfect fucking sense. Stupid mistakes. Okay, let's see if this works now. No. Oh, as in server. Server as in oh shit. Okay. All right. Okay, so P. Hey, okay, so we have the client. What about the server? Hey, the server is fucking running. It's not getting updated quite at the same time though. And that's because well, well, that's because of other reasons. Okay, so here's what I want to try out now. I need to add the random value to the client here. Client plus AGK str AGK random value. One instance of overloaded function. Either integer value or float value. Which one does this return? An integer value. Argument types. Okay, I think there was a response on this on the forum. Let's see. Working with strings, tier 2. Use uString. Right. How do I convert? AGK object this result. Print. Print. uString results 5. C++. What does this do? Returns a pointer to an array that contains a null terminated sequence of characters. C string represented in the current. Okay, so how about this? C++ convert to uString. This is, I mean, this should be working. Okay, how about instead of this, random value, integer, we will get that random value here, and then we'll convert it here. Expression must first integer. Unscoped. What? Integer, random value. str. It returns a character. Tricky. Now this is does this make sense to C++? Yes, it does. So if I say name plus random value, like 2 separate data types. It doesn't like it. Character. Or character, name, number. Or I should say, yeah, name, number. Fine. So this should AGK string to base 64. I don't think that's what I need. However, this is intriguing. What do you do, magical function that I've not seen before? Oh, yeah, that's right, converts. String 2. Basic source string is your calling this command from tier 2. The strings. Yay. Okay, so not really, no. Not a whole lot of. Right. str. Hey. Motherfucker. Character, remember, expression must have an integral or unscoped enum type. So let me actually Google this. Expression. So that's irrelevant. Cannot add to pointers. Okay, this makes sense. Okay, so that the std function. And now this thing can't fucking accept it. Really? Ah, so many data types. std string. No instance of overloaded function matches the argument. Can I do std character? Yeah, no. Fat chance. Expected an identifier. Oh yeah, I should probably. Actually, if I pay attention to what the fuck I'm writing. It's already a string. Why am I converting a string into a string? Is using auto clicker for a game hard? I need that was random. What? Wait. Is using a auto clicker for a game hard? I need that was random. What? The answer is 42. Okay, so what kind of a thing does it take? Constant character. Okay, how about this? So what if I go with what's his face? C++ random character. Using this necessity. Char character. Okay, so Name client. Value type of constant character. Okay. Oh, yeah. I meant, is coding an A auto clicker hard? Depending on where you're coding that A auto clicker. I've never really needed an auto clicker. I know how to make an auto clicker using a microcontroller as a hardware auto clicker, but you know, never a software one. Yeah, I don't think that can happen. I can't add characters and characters. So, first of all, ++ convert int to character. Oh. This is interesting. But kind of fucked up. That's not what I need though. To string forward in fact, but a little twist. Really? Can't be that simple. Nah, it can't be that simple. I fucking... No, hold on. I equals 45. Integer. No fucking way. Really? Really? It cannot be that fucking simple. Okay, so what about C++ random, not random character, just random integer. Huh. This is interesting. Because I need this. I need the... Let's see, so we have client. Then integer will be random from 0 to this value. Yes. Okay, so AGK print it's only printed momentarily, so I need to pay attention. Oh yeah, well, that did that. Integer division by 0. What the fuck are you talking about? Where am I dividing by 0? Well. I knew this was too good to be true. Okay. Actually, I think it's this thing that I need. Yeah. So, integer. Random. And print number. Break. Oh yeah. Gotta cancel that. You can stay the same. Ah, tits. I gotta head to work now. Okay. P. Well, it was there for a second. So now I need to convert Okay, well, I'm not gonna finish this game in the next 5 minutes, so this is it. I'll be back around 10 o'clock, Canada time. Back from work, and maybe I'll squeeze in like an hour of programming if I'm not too tired. So I have to promptly end the stream now, otherwise I'll be late for work. And I'll be back.